As of August 2022, I've had the Walksnail system for around 1.5 months. And I wanted to share with you today my thoughts, my opinion on this system. This is not going to be a full in-depth review on bit rates and these kind of things. It's more about what I think it is and to give you some perspective into the whole situation surrounding Walksnail to see if it's something where you want to invest your money or not. But first, let's give a few seconds to my sponsor. Do you need a good service to print your circuit boards? I'm sure PCBWay will have the right solution for you at the best price. They don't only have different kinds of PCB like Flex PCB and Advanced PCB, but now you can get your circuit boards with higher TG at the same price. Imagine that. Remember, PCBWay can help you with many other services. Go and visit them at their website. And right now it's the 8th anniversary and have a lot of promotions ongoing. So let me tell you first about my experience and then we can build upon that and see what we have here. I bought the system, I would think that in the first batch of people that bought it because I wanted to be part of that first wave of reviewers. You know, it was the cool new thing, something that everyone was waiting for, or at least they will be very surprised with it. And then I said, yes, I need to be there so I can get a YouTube video and show people what we have. So I got myself a system and I installed it in my recently launched Nord 5 frame, which has a specific space for the Walksnail VTX, and it's perfect for the Walksnail system. So I was going to do two things on one time, check my new frame and check how it worked with Walksnail. So I installed the Walksnail's VTX, I set up everything and I started to fly, and the first flight was a disaster. I started to fly and stuttering happened directly, and 25 meters away I lost completely view, a complete blackout. I recovered the system, I could fly back, I tried to fly behind my house and the signal just disappeared and it was terrible, completely bad experience. At this point in time, I wouldn't call the software running on this system even beta. That would be kind of like to be very good with them to say that the system was in beta state. But a few days later, Walksnail gave a new firmware and they were promising to fix a lot of the stuttering and all these kind of things that people complain and were super disappointed about the system on launching time. So I took that software and installed it on the system, and I started to get issues because my VTX was not booting after that, and I was thinking that I brick the VTX. And just to make a long story short, I ended up with 4 VTX that I thought were brick, and I got contact with the Walksnail support, which here I have to say was great. They jumped onto the problem on the first time, very early, very eager to help me out, and they even sent me replacement for some of the VTX, despite the fact that we figured it out and we realized that we didn't brick any of the VTXs. It was a problem on the compatibility of the camera that I had with the software, with the new software that was installed. But from this initial story, we can gather a few main interesting points. Number one, the software that was installed in the beginning was terrible and it caused kind of a bad experience on the pilots, kind of a disappointment on this system that was supposed to be the holy grail and all these kind of things. Number two is the fact that Walksnail support jumped in directly and helped quite a lot and were very eager to help me. We even had like constant communication while I was doing upgrades and everything, and I have nothing bad to say about them. In the contrary, I don't think I have had such a good support from one of the FPV manufacturers before. Number 3 is the fact that Walksnail's engineers are working hard. They are producing software all the time, and in this 1.5 months that I have the system, they have produced 3 different firmwares, and they are fixing things, inserting new features, and they are going fast. That's really good and promising. Number 4 is the fact that we are in a much better position right now. Anyone that has a Walksnail system or it's willing to buy one of these goggles and the VTXs, they are in a position today where they can fly and things are just gonna work the way that they are expected. So after all this initial thing and the shaking in the beginning that I was thinking that I screw up everything, I've been flying this system for around 2 to 3 weeks, and it has become a main system. When I go out to fly, do some tests on my new frame or something similar, I'm picking up the Walksnail, not the DJI. Sometimes I bring with me DJI to compare certain things that I'm checking, like for example when I changed the antennas on the goggles, I wanted to see the difference, and so I took my drones to exactly the same area and fly the same kind of pattern to compare things as similarly as possible. But if I'm just going out to fly for fun, I'm actually picking up this one right now. So am I liking the Walksnail system? The answer is actually yes, I'm enjoying it quite a lot. I'm confident flying now, which I wasn't in the beginning, to be completely honest. I like the fact that the goggles are a little bit smaller, the image quality or the color quality inside the screen, it's very nice. I don't know, the whole thing seems a little bit interesting for me, and I like a lot how they are improving things, and I kind of get to test new things all the time. The most important part of everything right now is that I feel confident and I feel like Walksnail has my back when it comes to FPV. If you look at what's happening, they are in the forums, they are developing the features that we are asking them, probably even if they don't think that it's worth it or that it's the first thing in their mind, but they are listening, they are communicating quite a lot with the FPV community. In fact, if they would have started like this since the very beginning, it would have been better for them. But let's forget how they started and all the kind of trying to hide that they had a relationship with Cadex and this kind of thing. Forget about it and think about what you have today, what's available today, and you will see that you have a good system, that you can fly, good quality, and you have a company that is listening and is developing quite quickly features related to the FPV community. Can you say the same thing about DJI? No. DJI is just DJI, right? They do whatever they think it's good for them, and you have seen that DJI doesn't have their eyes on the FPV community. They have created some things maybe to test, and if you look at the latest drone that they are doing, the Avatar, it's a FPV drone, but the target, it's very easy to see that is those kind of company that wants to film FPV shots, and they need a drone to do that kind of things, which overlaps with certain people inside the FPV community, but it's not dedicated, or it's not like they are listening and creating solutions for what we want. Are you gonna ever find a DJI VTX for a 1S drone? Forget about it. They will never do something like that. Or you can never say never, but it's very difficult that they do something like that. So I'm gonna try to answer the most difficult question in everyone's head right now. Which digital system should you choose? Today you have 3 different systems. You have HD0, you have DJI, and now you have Walksnail. And as always, the answer is gonna be, it depends what you are going to do with your drones. If you are completely new to the FPV world, now you have 3 choices. and Walksnail is one that is covering from, or it will cover very soon, from 1S up to 6S drones. HD0 does the same thing from 1S to 6S. DJI, arguably the best quality that there is, it's not going to cover that range. You just have it from, I don't know, 3S up, or at least you don't get it in tiny whoops, or not that easy. You can get it, but it's not that easy. You have to do naked, or you have to do certain things that are not the best for that kind of drones. But something that I want to highlight, and I haven't seen this discussed very much in forums or videos or any other review, is the fact of the support that manufacturers are giving to each one of these systems. If you look, for example, at HD0, I believe it's a very promising system, very good quality, but manufacturers are not doing bind and fly drones with that system, except Happy Model. That is the only one that has, I think, 2 or 3 models, or 3 or 4 models with HD0, but no one else. And HD0 today is quite difficult to find. Reason why I think it hasn't lifted off, because it doesn't have the support from manufacturers. Not the community is loving HD0, it's manufacturers. On the other hand, you have Walksnail, the newest kid on the block. And if you look, Walksnail already has support from iFlight, Gepard C, Beta FPV, and Flywheel. I don't know if there is someone else over there, but you have 4 of the biggest manufacturers, drone manufacturers, behind or offering already drones with Walksnail, combos, goggles, and everything. This is something that for me is a game changer for the system, because if those companies start providing you cool new drones with this system, and they do a sale, or they do combos, or they do something, that means that people is going to be more willing to buy it, people is going to find more choices, people is going to get into this, and you're going to get more support on Walksnail that, for example, what HD0 is getting today. You have something there that can be interesting, what's happening with DJI and the manufacturers. I think they're still going to offer a lot of their drones with DJI, because Runcam is going to keep doing the job of providing the vista to them and the drones. But at the same time, we go back to relationship and business. Cadex has established relationship with many of these manufacturers, which might mean that things could go smoother with Walksnail than with DJI. Some of these manufacturers might not have the good relationship that they had with Runcam, and it's going to take some time to ramp up. It's going to take some time for Runcam also to get their business together when it comes to all the VTXs for DJI. And there you can see a little bit of a power play between companies and the systems to come to the market. Let's see how that plays out, but I'm pretty sure that that's going to be an important point on how the systems develop, and not many people is mentioning it. One thing that is true is that if you are invested already on DJI, there is no good reason for you to change just yet. Things are kind of getting into parity with Walksnail, but there is no something big that you will say, yes, go throw all your DJI or sell all your DJI and go and buy Walksnail. But we're talking about that today in September 2022. I think for the FPV community, Walksnail has a very nice and very bright future, which I don't know if DJI is going to have the same future, to be completely honest. I think they will still provide very cool things, very high quality, but I'm not so sure that they're going to play in every aspect of what FPV community wants. We just need to give some time and see how things develop. I might be completely wrong, and in a few months from now I will say, crap, DJI is the best and that's the only thing, or Walksnail didn't develop the way that I thought that it was going to develop and they have staggered. I don't know. Let's see how it goes. But for now, I'm gonna keep flying these, I'm gonna keep testing, I'm gonna keep bringing some information to you, and I hope that you have gotten something today that can help you make a decision if you're gonna get or not this system. And I want to thank you for watching and see you soon.